The Starkiller base is stupid. I don't think J.J. Abrams understands science. Now, I know this is science fiction, but so it doesn't have to follow the rules of real life. But it at least needs to be somewhat consistent within itself, or at least believable. Like the Starkiller, a planet that moves. How does it move? I mean, a suspension of disbelief with the Death Star was enough. Like at least that one you can say it's a base, it's man-made, so I don't know, maybe it has some thrusters or something. But a planet, an entire planet. You know how hard it would be to move a planet? And then when you look at the Starkiller base, there's like this big thing around the equator, like a big trench. They had to dig into it to put in that big cannon. That's stupid. That doesn't make any sense. Like, where did you put all the dirt? Like when you dig something that deep, you create a lot of dirt. Where did they put it? Did they put it around the rest of the planet? I mean, that much dirt would cover all the trees and stuff. It would be like a planet of mud or something. But there's trees and snow. And I'm assuming that there's snow, it must mean that there's water or something, like some kind of ocean. So they completely bisected the planet. So how did they stop the ocean? Did they create a big dam? Do you know how hard it is to make a dam just to block a river? And it looks like they made a dam. I mean, they would have had to have made a dam to dam the ocean. What the hell? And then it's not just in the trench, it's not just like on the crust. It looks like it goes into the mantle of the planet. You know, the molten liquid part of the planet. It's hot. I mean, the Earth's core is really hot. It melts. It could probably melt metal. And there's no molten anything. Like, how do they dig through the planet's crust and into the core and keep going without things melting or getting burned? It's stupid and just doesn't make any sense. And also, what about plate tectonics? You know, the mantle is moving over the core because the core is not solid. The core is like molten lava or whatever, and the Earth's crust kind of moves over it. Like, so how do they deal with? I mean, I know plate tectonics goes really, really slow. Like you don't even really notice it moving, but but you see like earthquakes and volcanoes blowing up and stuff because of tectonics. So the Starkiller base is such a stupid idea. I mean, the Death Star, I mean, that at least that's slightly somewhat believable because it's a man-made thing. But a planet? And then the way the planet works is it steals the energy from the sun, and then it drains the sun of energy. But then if you get rid of your sun, wouldn't that mean you freeze? Wouldn't everybody just freeze? I mean, I know they made it a snow planet and stuff, but I mean, the trees wouldn't really have any light. They would all die. And then when you kill your sun, you basically doom the entire solar system around that sun to death. I mean, can you imagine if someone destroyed our sun? I mean, life on Earth would eventually die. So it's sort of like, why even bother shooting a laser at the planets? You can just suck up the energy and pretty much just they'll die. I mean, I guess they can leave with the spaceships. Maybe that's why. But you know what I mean? And then once they get the sun's energy, they shoot a laser. That scene on that whatever planet the bar was on, the Mas Kanata Cantina or whatever. They show all the people outside looking up into the sky, and then I think they see like a laser. At the very least, they see the planets blow up. But I'm thinking, wait a minute, why is it still light outside? They just drained the sun. It should be dark. So why is it still daylight? Like, they basically condemned the entire solar system to darkness because they got rid of the sun. So that doesn't make any sense, that it's still daytime outside. And I know what fanboys are going to say. This is what fanboys will say. They're going to say, well, in real science, which this is not, in real science, it takes light years and years and years to travel. So the reason why it didn't turn dark when the Starkiller base drained the sun is because the light is still traveling. Okay, I'll play that game. You want to pull out real science? Alright, we'll play that game. If it takes light years and years and years to travel, that means when those planets exploded in the sky, we wouldn't have seen that explosion for years. And we wouldn't have seen that laser for years either. Boom! Game. So you can't have it both ways. Either the Star Wars universe follows the laws of physics in the real world, or Star Wars has its own rules of science. But The Force Awakens doesn't follow either our rules or doesn't even follow their own rules. Because according to their own rules, if light, you can see light instantaneously from millions of miles away in space, that means that as soon as the Starkiller base drained the sun, it should immediately turn dark if you can immediately see the Starkiller base shooting lasers. So it's like J.J. Abrams slept through science class or something. Didn't they have any? This is Disney. I figured maybe they would have hired some consultants or something to at least make it sort of believable. Or I would have assumed maybe one of the staff who maybe is like a science buff would have said, excuse me, JJ, but we should change the story a little because it kind of doesn't follow the rules of science. So I don't know how this idea even made it. It's really dumb. The Starkiller base is a stupid, stupid idea. It's like a second-rate Death Star. And the name, so uncreative. Death Star, they switched it around, Starkiller. Either that, or they just copied the name of Luke Skywalker's original name, because I think the original name for The New Hope was going to be The Adventures of Luke Starkiller. I don't know if they're that clever. Either way, they're uncreative. They either just took the name Death Star and switched the words around, or they just took the name of the original Star Wars movie, Luke Starkiller, and just copied it. So uncreative, so stupid, so lacking in any common sense. And people think J.J. Abrams is going to do a good job with Episode 9. Well, I'm not going to see it. You guys can see it. I'm not going to even bother seeing it. I'll probably just watch it when it comes out on DVD or something. J.J. Abrams is a nut. He's just a crazy nut.